What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. Been a little while, but we're back in the building. Today we are talking Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. We are just under 1 month away, and I think it's going to be an excellent rematch. Let's get into today's video. So recently we had the Tyson Fury versus Usyk face-off, and it was a little bit different to usual. They sat down and re-watched kind of clips and highlights of the first fight. And it was a very interesting watch, you know. It was the same day, I believe, as they filmed their press conference. You still had Usyk still dressed as Hitman, looking scary as heck. And you still had Fury, surprisingly looking quite sheepish. Or not surprisingly, he did lose the first fight. So I guess that's why. But it's a very, very interesting watch. Now, it was good to see Fury quite humble. You know, there's a few times where we do kind of see the genuine side of Fury. You know, he is ever the showman. And to be honest, a lot of stuff, a lot of ways he is usually, I don't really love some of his personality traits, but you know, I guess he's not boring. But it was good to see the humble side of him and him kind of seemingly accept the Usyk loss, which he hasn't really been accepting publicly recently. So it's good to kind of see him just chill out a little bit and kind of admit that Usyk was the better man. Although it was interesting that Fury still was saying some of the same stuff that we don't really want to hear. He was saying that he feels like he should do exactly the same thing. He just needs to start a little bit earlier. You know, he didn't feel like he did that badly in the fight. He thought he was winning early few rounds. Absolute nonsense. And that's where it gets worrying. He also said in other interviews that he's not going to be changing his team. And I think this is a massive mistake. And this is why Usyk will be a favorite for this fight. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, I believe. I don't write Fury off. I do believe Usyk will win the fight, but I don't write Fury off. This is heavyweight boxing, and Fury does outweigh Usyk by quite a lot. So you can't really be like, oh, you know, it's a foregone conclusion, Usyk just going to beat him. I think Usyk is a heavy favourite, or not heavy, but I think he's a big favourite. For me, it's like 60-40, maybe 65-35 towards Usyk. Now, the reason I say this is that I believe Usyk is slowing down quite a bit. Now, I noticed that in the Anthony Joshua 1 fight, I think that was the best Usyk that we've seen at heavyweight. Anthony Joshua 2 fight, it was a bit better. And then in the Daniel Dubois fight, we started to notice that Usyk weren't moving his legs as much. He was more aggressive, willing to stand his ground. And in that Tyson Fury fight, he was moving forward a lot more. But again, he seems to have been a lot slower than he has been previously. I believe this is why it gives Fury a bit of an opportunity to capitalize. Now, obviously, Fury hasn't been living the life himself. So he himself is slowing down, coming to the end of his career. But, you know, with heavyweight boxing, when he's this heavy, this much heavier than Usyk, I don't really believe he has the greatest amount of power. But in terms of using his weight and his size, if he can use that against Usyk early, I feel he has a good chance of actually winning this fight. I don't feel like he should box with Usyk or try and outbox Usyk. At the same time, you can't just say, I'll walk him down, and like everyone says, and this is something that Fury said pretty good in the face-off there. He said everyone says the same thing, just walk him down and da-da-da-da. But it's not as easy as it seems, because Alexander Usyk is no time great. So you have to be a bit more intelligent with it. I do feel, even though I feel Fury is the fraud, only because I don't believe he's as good as a lot of people were saying before this fight. But I do believe that Fury has the skill and the boxing IQ to be able to try and implement the plan. Now, one thing I do think is that the corner not changing will be a detriment to Tyson Fury. You could see there was a lot of confusion, a lot of madness happening in that corner of kind of contradicting instructions in that corner. And that's not a great way to be going into this rematch. I feel like you need to have everything clear. You need to know what you're doing, what the instruction is at what moment in time. It needs to be very, very clear, because Usyk is far too clever. His corner is very underrated in terms of how they instruct him, what they tell him to do, and how they even just give him the correct energy to go into the fight. If Tyson Fury doesn't change his corner, it takes his chances of winning down even more. At least if he doesn't change it, but he keeps it a little bit more in order. We know that Sugar Hill will be the actual head trainer, but he should be the only voice in that corner. Then it may go a little bit better. But if they actually come up with a good plan and try to put the pressure on Usyk early and do not allow Usyk to dictate the pace, then there is a good chance of Tyson Fury being able to hurt Usyk early. Now, The reason that I wouldn't say even try to even attempt to outbox him, Tyson Fury lost the first 3 rounds. There's no debate on it. I don't care what these corrupt judges says, how that judge got it for Fury, I don't know. He lost them very, very clearly. If you watch the fight, and I will do a breakdown a little bit closer to the time, Usyk came out straight away and was attacking Fury to the body straight away. Tyson Fury was going backwards and landed less punches on Usyk. So in what world could Tyson Fury win any of those 3 rounds? Usyk landed more punches. He was also putting the pressure on for the first 3 rounds, and it was not even close. I'll say they were competitive, but there was a clear winner at the end of all 3 rounds. Fury won rounds 4 to 6. And if you can implement that kind of strategy a little bit earlier, hit Usyk with uppercuts, put the pressure on early, he has a good chance of winning. I believe Usyk should try to stop Fury. Do a little bit more of what he did in that first fight. Maybe use his legs a tiny bit more, as it looks like Fury's coming in a bit heavy. And then towards the middle to later stages, start to put the pressure on and try to go for the knockout. So my early prediction is Usyk by stoppage in this fight. Usyk by stoppage. I believe he can get it done. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. See you soon. Peace.